Hey, what's up, guys? Murder of Birds here. I just got finished watching Kuroko no Basket, Episode 2, Season 2, and Kuroko, Kuroko's a beast. He's going to be a beast. I swear to God, he's going to be a beast. His potential in this episode, off of that one unperfected technique, is just... it's on another level at this point. I just want to see what he can also do with the drive ability, with the fact of maybe will he be able to shoot besides just passing and driving. I mean, if he's going to drive, he obviously has to shoot. But that was probably the highlight of the entire episode. Wasn't really what I was expecting. I was expecting to see, a really deep, intense basketball match. But the freaking stupid weather wanted to act up and it started raining, so... Anyways, the initial episode, we start off, Murasaki Bara, he's introduced as the center of the Generation of Miracles. He's very unorthodox. His character is pretty, chill, laid back, and I really do enjoy that. But he also has that childish side of him. He likes to goof off, he likes to eat candy, junk food, and, behaves like a child. And we see that for sure in this episode when he's provoked by Kagami and they're going back and forth. He's like, oh, I know what you are, but what am I? Stuff like that. He definitely doesn't take anything seriously other than the game of basketball. And, we end up finding out that, he has extreme talent. The fact that, he's like about 7 feet tall and he knows how to play the game and he likes winning and he likes beating people is interesting enough, but the fact is he actually doesn't like basketball. And the fact is, if he actually loved basketball to the point where, Kagami and Kuroko love it, he could literally be unstoppable. If he had the same drive as Aomine in the terms of, he loves basketball and he knows he's good at it. But the fact is, he's still unstoppable. As from what Kuroko says, like when he's on his game, he's literally an unstoppable force. So I was really disappointed that we couldn't see that in this episode. I was really excited to see Murasaki Bara go up against them in this startup match, but they definitely held things back. They held things back, but they did give us some interesting tidbits for the future. We find out also that the Generation of Miracles, none of them actually participated in the Inter-High semifinals and the finals. And that's because, as you guys know, the Generation of Miracles are a bunch of monsters. They're all freaking beast mode in their own way. And it's because their bodies, aren't fully developed. Sometimes I even forget, but they are teenagers, they're in high school, and their skills and their abilities and their talent just surpass that of which what their body can deal with. Just look at Kisei when he tried copying Aomine in season 1, and his body was giving out. We find out that Akashi told Murasaki Bara to not play in the finals. In the semifinals, which Murasaki Bara only listens to Akashi of the Generation of Miracles because he was the former team leader. Aomine was actually, taken off of the field, off of the court, because, he was playing pretty recklessly after his match with Kisei and they didn't want him to injure himself. He got into an altercation with Momoi, and, she ended up going to Team Saren's team and talking to Kuroko about it, and he consoled her about that, and so we did get that bit amount from him. But another interesting concept, I can't believe I almost forgot this, but Himuro had that sense of a Generation of Miracles type feel from Kuroko, and he definitely has something to bring to the table. He gave us a glimpse of what he can do, and it was pretty freaking insane. I actually was extremely excited to find this out, with his shot that he took a clear jump shot, and, Kagami being overzealous, he's like, hey, I can definitely beat this, and the ball phased right through him. It was transparent, went right through him, and it's pretty much an unblockable shot. How he does that is really interesting to know. Kiyoshi made a reference that, his first shot of the game, it looked like he was in slow motion, so maybe it's like a time manipulative type ability. I'm not entirely sure. Really would like to know more intricacies about that move. That was pretty beast. But yeah, like this entire episode, it didn't necessarily give me what I wanted in the sense of, a 5-on-5 basketball game between two Generation of Miracle type characters, but it did give us tidbits of, things to look at towards in the future with the Winter Cup coming up. So I'm really, really excited. I'm definitely going to hold on to my seat, for this ride in the future. But the overall best aspect of this entire episode was definitely Kuroko. Kuroko has definitely come a long way. From just being the passer just being the one to pass the ball to everyone in a stylish way and having that misdirection. And, in the episode with the games, he was only passing as far as now. But after, we saw what he can do. He showed off his technique to Momoi, and he has an unstoppable drive. And she even said, he's like, it's not even perfected. Even if it's perfected and his opponents know what they're in for, no one can stop him. And this is the potential that I want to see for Kuroko. I want to be able to see him pass like crazy with that ignite pass. I want to be able to see him, use that misdirection to a full extent. He has an unstoppable drive that, if he perfects it, he'll be on his game. All we need now is for him to be able to have the capacity and the ability to shoot that coordinated with Kagami, with his jump abilities, and everyone else on the other team, Hyuga and everybody else. Team Seiho is definitely on point now. They're definitely working towards, being able to compete with the Generation of Miracles and not having to struggle and not having to worry about, relying on Kagami and Kuroko for everything that's been happening. But let me know what you guys thought. I'm going to go back and watch this episode again just because, I can't wait. I can't wait for future events. I can't wait to see what Murasaki Bara can do. He was just sitting on the field, not really doing much. Didn't have really a care in the world, but I really want to see what he can do when he goes in. Himuro, I want to find a little bit more about his backstory. How does he have that Generation of Miracles feel, and how did he learn that technique? And I want more. So let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will definitely be catching you guys next week for this episode. Thanks a lot, guys, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.